At the far edge of Prague, beyond the crowded streets and old industrial railways, stood an abandoned hotel known only as Black Hollow. No advertisements mentioned it. No maps marked its location correctly. Taxi drivers refused to drive near it after dark. Yet the building still stood there, hidden behind dead trees and rusted gates like a forgotten piece of another world. For years, rumors surrounded the hotel. Some people claimed lights appeared inside the upper windows every winter despite the electricity being disconnected decades earlier. Others said strange sounds echoed from the empty hallways during the night. But the oldest rumor was the one nobody liked discussing openly. Guests entered, but not everyone came back out. Daniel Mercer first heard about Black Hollow while filming abandoned places across Europe for his online documentary channel. Old prisons, empty hospitals, forgotten subway stations. He had explored all of them. But this place felt different from the beginning. The old bartender who mentioned the hotel refused to even say its full name aloud. "You can go there," the man whispered while cleaning a dusty glass. "But if you hear knocking from inside the walls, leave immediately." Daniel laughed quietly at first. Every abandoned building had local ghost stories. Fear attracted viewers. That same night, carrying only a flashlight, camera equipment, and a backpack, Daniel followed an overgrown road toward the edge of the city. Rain fell steadily. The deeper he walked into the forest surrounding the hotel, the quieter the world became. No traffic, no animals, no wind, only silence. Then he saw it. Black Hollow Hotel stood in complete darkness beneath the storm clouds. 7 massive floors of broken windows and black stone walls towered over the empty road. Yet one window near the top floor glowed faintly yellow. Daniel stopped walking. That's impossible. The hotel had no electricity. He raised his camera and zoomed toward the window. For a brief second, someone appeared behind the glass, watching him. Then the light vanished. Daniel's pulse quickened, but excitement replaced fear. This was exactly the kind of footage his audience loved. He pushed open the rusted front gate. The sound echoed unnaturally loud through the empty property. Inside the lobby, dust covered everything. Old furniture remained exactly where it had been abandoned decades ago. Broken chandeliers hung from the ceiling like frozen skeletons. But one thing immediately felt wrong. The air inside the hotel was warm. Far too warm. Daniel slowly walked deeper into the lobby. His flashlight revealed old guest books scattered across the reception desk. Most pages were destroyed by time, except for the final entry. A single sentence written shakily across the paper. "The rooms remember." Then somewhere above him, a door slammed shut, and footsteps began moving across the floor directly overhead. The footsteps above Daniel moved slowly across the ceiling of the abandoned hotel. Not random, deliberate, like someone was following him from the floor above. Daniel raised his flashlight toward the massive staircase in the center of the lobby. The beam barely touched the darkness above before fading into shadows. "Hello," he called carefully. No answer came back, only silence. Then another sound echoed through the building. Knocking. 3 slow knocks from somewhere deep inside the walls. Daniel froze instantly. The bartender's warning returned to his mind. "If you hear knocking from inside the walls, leave immediately." For the first time since arriving at Black Hollow, fear pushed against his excitement. But curiosity won. He slowly climbed the staircase toward the second floor. Each wooden step creaked loudly beneath his weight while the storm outside intensified. Rain hammered against the broken windows like distant applause. The second floor hallway stretched endlessly into darkness. Old red carpets covered the floor, soaked with years of dust and moisture. Hotel room doors lined both sides of the corridor. Most were slightly open. Daniel moved carefully past them, shining his flashlight inside. Empty beds, rotting wallpaper, broken mirrors. But every room felt strangely untouched, as if someone still cleaned them. Then he noticed something disturbing. Room 214 was glowing faintly beneath the door. A warm yellow light. The same light he had seen from outside. Daniel approached slowly. The closer he moved toward the room, the warmer the hallway became. By the time he stood outside the door, the air felt almost unbearable. His hand shook slightly as he pushed the door open. The room inside was perfect. No dust, no damage. Fresh sheets covered the bed. Candles burned softly beside the window. A clock on the wall ticked quietly. And sitting at the desk near the corner was a woman. She faced away from him, perfectly still. Long black hair covered most of her face. Daniel's heartbeat accelerated. "Excuse me." The woman did not move. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered softly. Her voice sounded distant, almost drowned beneath static. Daniel stepped backward slightly. "What is this place?" Slowly, the woman raised one trembling hand and pointed toward the mirror beside the bed. Daniel turned his flashlight toward it. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Then his blood froze. The mirror reflection showed the hotel room completely empty. The woman was not there. Daniel spun around instantly. But the chair beside the desk was now empty too. The candles suddenly extinguished themselves. Darkness swallowed the room. Then the knocking returned. Louder now. Not from the walls. From inside the room itself. 3 violent knocks exploded from beneath the bed. Daniel backed toward the hallway as something underneath the mattress began breathing heavily. Then the voice returned from the darkness. "The hotel remembers everyone who enters." And somewhere deep, the sound of the elevator echoed through Black Hollow Hotel like a machine waking from death. Daniel stood frozen in the hallway outside room 214 while the old cables groaned somewhere below the building. The elevator was rising. Slowly, floor by floor. Even though the hotel had no electricity, the hallway lights suddenly flickered dimly for a single second. Then darkness returned. Daniel forced himself to move, backing away from the room while the heavy breathing beneath the bed continued inside. At the far end of the corridor, the ancient elevator display lit up weakly. 3, then 4, then 5. It was still climbing. Daniel turned toward the staircase, intending to leave immediately, but the hallway behind him had changed. The staircase was gone. Only endless corridor remained. Room after room stretching into darkness. "No," Daniel whispered. Panic finally reached him. The elevator continued climbing. 6, then stopped. The doors opened somewhere above with a loud metallic scream. Silence followed. Complete silence. Then footsteps appeared again. But this time they were descending. Slowly, coming down from the upper floor. Daniel ran. His flashlight beam shook violently as he sprinted through the endless hallway. Every room he passed now stood fully open. Inside each room, people sat motionless on the beds. Men, women, children, all staring directly toward the hallway. Watching him pass, their faces looked pale and unnatural, like bodies preserved for decades. Then every head turned simultaneously toward him. Daniel nearly collapsed from fear. The footsteps above grew faster. Closer. The hotel walls began knocking violently from every direction now. Hundreds of knocks echoing through the corridors like trapped hands trying to escape. Then Daniel saw the elevator. Its doors stood open at the end of the hallway. Warm yellow light poured from inside. And standing in the center of the elevator was himself. Same clothes, same camera, same terrified face, but older. The older version smiled weakly. "You should have left when the walls started knocking." Daniel stumbled backward. "What is this place?" The older version looked down sadly. "It's not a hotel anymore." The lights flickered again, and suddenly every room door slammed shut at once. Boom. The entire building shook violently. Then the older Daniel whispered one final sentence. "It keeps everyone who enters." The elevator doors slowly closed. Darkness swallowed the hallway. And somewhere beyond the edge of Prague, Black Hollow Hotel continued waiting silently beneath the storm for its next guest.